What's up, everybody? It's me, Therese, on YouTube, Therese Stewart, and this is my Palworld tutorial. A couple of tips on what you can do in order to improve your gameplay before you even start the game. I have 65 days in my world. I'm level 37. My multiplayer is on. I have that on so I can play with my friend Bob whenever he gets the chance to play. Um, what we're going to do is we're going to go to difficulty and we're going to go to custom settings. And in custom settings, nighttime can be kind of like menacing because you need like a torch or whatever if you want to make sure that you have lighting, or if you need a certain pile out and around you to make sure you have good lighting. Um, you can adjust the nighttime speed to happen basically a little faster and be done faster. You can set the daytime speed to be a little longer, but making sure you do it this way by moving that down by one. I mean, a little bit. And then for the experience rate, you can increase the experience rate so you can kind of level up a little faster. And then here you can increase the PAL capture rate because you definitely want to do that, especially as the PALs get harder to catch later on and quite easily. Like level 10, they start like, or like level 5, or honestly, about like level 6 or 7. Uh, Catching them is kind of like you got to stand there and wait until they pop out of the ball and throw another ball. Um, Uh, this kind of, you can increase this to make sure they appear more often. Um, I don't want it too high because it affects gameplay performance. Damage from pals, you can tone that down a little bit because they start hurting, especially if you're trying to catch something rare and it's a little above your level. You gotta be able to take a couple hits. The pal hunger depletion rate, I honestly recommend you adjust this and turn this down quite a bit because especially if you're just starting out, you're gonna need to put a chicky picky or the little chicken inside of ranch in order for it to be able to make chicken eggs for you. And if you don't know how to set all that up, then you're gonna need to make sure your pals don't get hungry before you set all that up because they start getting depressed. Their sanity starts going down really fast. Basically, they start getting sick, and you can see like their little status of of their sickness or whatever. I mean that happens when they're hungry and depressed and stuff. And they get depressed from being hungry. And decrease the pal stamina reduction rate too. Um, I'm not sure what PAL stamina affects. Well, then again, I guess flying. There's flying PALs and PALs that you can ride on top of. So decreasing that allows you to be able to run for longer periods of time. Um, and the health regeneration rate, I'd suggest turning that up. So like, you don't have to turn it up that much, because I just have it this high because I want it to be really, really casual, for me. But that as like every second they gain like a chunk of health or a decent amount of health. I think about like let's say your pal's at 1,000 health, it'll gain probably like 50 health a second, um, if it's that high, I believe. Um, Damage from players, I just have that set to that because I'm not playing against other people whenever I play in Palworld. Not in this world. Um, Player hunger depletion rate, I have that set to that because I don't, getting hungry for 5 seconds, you have to either hunt. Oh, thankfully in this game, once you like hunt a pal and it drops like meat or something like that, you can eat it right away. You don't have to cook it, and it doesn't make you sick or anything. Um, Player stamina reduction rate, I suggest turning that down a lot because if you have to climb rocks and stuff to get to higher heights and you don't have like a pal that you can fly with just yet, you're gonna fall off that rock very often. Health regeneration rate, I suggest turning that up pretty high. If you get into fights where you're getting raided by random people, not random people, but like AI, they're gonna try to shoot you quite a bit and do a lot of damage to you. So you're gonna try to unlive you as soon as they can. So I suggest you do that. I turn it up pretty high. And structure deterioration rate, I turn that down to like that because if you build a bed and a roof and a floor, which is what you have to do in order if you want to sleep on a bed, if you want to do it out where it's outside of your base, just because you want to speed up nighttime faster, you it gets kind of annoying. Uh, that if you want to kind of go back to that spot, the damage that it takes it takes a lot of damage. So if you want to reduce the wear and tear of stuff that's outside of your base, turn it down to like that because I like it really really casual. Because survival games they're not easy for me, so I'm trying to like really get into those. Um, and this is a survival game, so. Um, This gather items multiplier. I guess you can turn up the number of dropped items in the world high. That's like if you just randomly drop a bunch of stuff, uh, or if creatures drop stuff and you don't pick it up. That's the maximum amount of dropped items that could be in the world. It's not really an issue unless you have a lot of people playing. Then that you probably want it set up pretty high on your server if a lot of people playing. Gatherable items multiplier, like once you unalive a pal or hunt a pal, you get this is what the amount they drop. I have it up to 3, so I get 3 times as much because gathering can take a while. And now that I'm about to kick back into work, because I started Palworld when I was on vacation, I'm not gonna have much time to play Palworld, or as much time as I did before. So I have that set high. Um, and gatherable objects health multiplier. Now you can set this high. I want to set this actually up here. You don't gain XP by like chipping away at something, but you gain XP once it finally like falls. Like if you're chopping down a tree, you finally get an XP once it falls, but you only gain like a little bit. You don't gain much. You gain more XP by literally walking around and picking up stuff that's on the ground. Um, if it's all in the same area, rather than you chipping away at something. Um, I recommend setting that high if you want to gather a lot of resource. And like if you build your base where your pals can farm the resources around it, having that set high allows them to farm a lot of resources before the object they're farming disappears or breaks. Gatherable objects respawn interval, setting that low allows you then those items or those things that you gather resource from to come back faster. Um, and drop items that also applies to those specific the gatherable items. Setting that high makes it happen more often. Meteorite supply drops interval. Heck yeah, I need to increase that. Um, let me double check because there's supply drops in this game and they drop really rare like capture spears for the pal to capture pals with. So having that set pretty high, I believe. Right slash supply drops in. Just double check to make sure it is. But time to incubate an egg, I had that set to like time. Okay, it equals hours. Yeah, I have that set to like maybe you can set it at 2 because that's I think that's where it's set at 2. Or maybe it was set at 3. I set it to 1. Um, because sometimes I go around and catch a lot of eggs. So if I don't build a lot of incubators, then I need to be able to kind of just use the incubator once it's done. And it's in like a literal hour. Like if it's a huge egg, it'll take about an hour to hatch it. So you need to kind of adjust accordingly. I have it set low so that I can hatch them fast because I fly around on my pal and I just find other eggs and just put them in there. Enable raid events. That was on. I don't know how that was set off. Uh, Death penalty. I had that set to no drops because I don't like losing my stuff. If I die, I may get unalived. Um, so max number of guilds have that set to 20, I guess, because I guess if other people wanted to join, they could be here. A max number of bases for each guild. Me and my buddy are the only person playing on my server, um, so I had that set to like really high, um, to 10, the max it could be, because that's the amount of bases we want to be able to put bases everywhere, and you increase the amount of bases you can place in the world as you level up your base by adding certain stuff to your base, like meeting certain like requirements of adding certain things to your base. You'll see that once you put down the little pal desks, little digital thingies to set it all up. The maximum number of work pals at a base will affect processing overhead. Um, oh, okay. So lowering the meteorite supply drop interval increases how fast they come. Oh, how many minutes can you drop? Oh, heck yeah! Areas that can have them. I haven't heard that max for you. Yeah, cool. So it'd be nice to have like I'm not gonna say that too crazy, because I think it says somebody said some amount of minutes uh between drops, so I don't want it to be forever and a day. Uh, Supply drops happen every 30 minutes. That'd be kind of cool if you're in the area for supply drops to happen. And there are certain areas on the map, like Fisherman's Point. There's a supply drop that lands there, I believe. Uh, Maybe not. It was a different spot. But like, see, maximum number of guild. So you can set that low to meteorite supply drop interval, so that you can have as many like supply drops happen every 30 minutes, which are pretty useful. Yeah, come with a lot of the nice stuff. Um, and they come with permanent like little potions that can increase the amount of weight you can carry. And you'll want to catch the little pink little cat on the main screen here to increase the amount of stuff you can carry. I don't know if it's affects stacks. You can have a bunch of cats in your party, cativas, and it'll buff your ability to carry a bunch of stuff. Maybe it does stack. I don't know yet, but I can cover that in my next video. Um, Next number of pals working on the pal base. This increases as you level up your pal base, but I have it set really high to 40. Um, and I guess it'll kind of affect. It depends on if you uh, if you have like a cage that you can view all your pals in, because you can build that too. I don't recommend putting those in there just yet. Once you're starting out, if you're just catching a bunch of pals and throw them in there, just put them inside the pal deck, the main thingy that all your pals go into, the pal box. Um, what it's called. Work pals allow you to be able to, they work on stuff and they fix things and they create things for you while you're out and about. If you're at the base while they're creating stuff, you gain XP. If you're not at the base when you're creating stuff, you don't gain XP. But they also gain XP. Everything at the base gains XP if you're at the base when you have a project going and a pal is working on it or you're working on it. So increasing the maximum number of work pals allows you to be able to put stuff on ranches, put stuff at different workstations, and obviously just allow you to get more work done. But that's how you start. Some of the world settings and what they kind of do, and what if you're a really casual survival player, um, that's these are kind of how my settings look, and I'm like super casual. So a little secret about the F penalty: if you have this set to no drops and you just choose to respawn, which you can do by pressing the start button, so to speak, on your controller, whatever that may be, or your computer. Um, Whatever that's set to, it allows you to go back to either one of your bases or a main spawn point on the map, and you can choose different areas on the map to spawn at if you do so. And this also makes it easier if you just kind of want to, if you're far away from your base and you kind of just want to get back to your base without having to fly or use a movement pal to get there, or just run or to get there. You can just, if you set it to no drops, you can just respawn and go straight to one of your bases. Hopefully they don't change this. This is just really convenient if you're a casual player, which I kind of am. So thank y'all so much for watching. Like the video, sub to the channel, leave comments about kind of like what y'all like to do, which pals are your favorite, um, what you look forward to in Palworld, and uh, what did you get out of a supply drop or a meteor drop? I got a cool little pal out of a meteor drop, so that was awesome. Um, Catch y'all next time. You are welcome and wanted here.